We're born in the moonlight. Ain't no fair to say. Can't breathe in the sunlight.
Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here and welcome back to Changeling. We are here. Get your head hit by a football. That wasn't nice, but it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, when I go back, I'll try. It was nice to meet you. Elliot, right? This is Elliot, this is Danny. Hopefully my girl will remember. You can kind of see Elliot-ish. Maybe I should just move my camera over here because that cam is just showing us a date, so... Yep, I guess I'll see you Monday, or on Monday. Yeah. He vanished behind the fence again, leaving me alone with Danny. Mind if I go through the gate on my way out? Yeah, no problem. I showed him the way, then went back inside for an ice-packed breakfast. Mom spent a few minutes fussing over my head before setting my plate down in front of me and giving me the long list of chores I had to complete. It was going to be a long, long day. Chapter 2. Common route still. Stone Circle Academy. I don't see them anywhere. They were on the counter last night. Where are they? How the heck should I know? You never let me drive, so I don't keep up with the car keys. You two are going to be late for your first date if you don't find them soon. Can you still see Mom? Yes, you can. Not my fault. Spencer was scouring the house looking for the car keys that he insisted he left out on the counter. I was rinsing the breakfast dishes and Mom was supervising. Spencer let out an exasperated groan from near the door when he was hunting around for the keys. Where's my other shoe? Oh my god. I don't know. I don't keep up with your stuff. I finished the dishes and wiped my hands, grabbing my book bag as I headed to the front door to see if Spencer had left the keys there instead. If I'm late because of you, we won't be late if you just help me find the keys. I'm gonna have to help you find them if you just kept up with your stuff. I stalked to the front door to check the little shelf by the cabinet there. No keys. I don't know why I opened the cabinet to check inside, but when I pulled the door I was confronted by Spencer's worn out tennis shoes. I blinked at it in surprise. What the... I snatched it out of the cabinet and stalked back to the kitchen. I could only imagine that my sleep-deprived mom had put it in there while doing the last of the unpacking. I wondered if Spencer had checked the fridge for the keys yet. At this rate, it wouldn't surprise me if that's where they were. I found your stupid shoe. Spencer looked up from where he was rummaging through the kitchen drawers for the key. I tossed him the shoe, and as it somersaulted through the air to him, something flew out and hit the floor with a decidedly metallic sound. We both looked down in surprise. The car keys were sprawled carelessly on the kitchen floor. You had keys in your shoes? What were the keys doing in his shoe? Spencer immediately glared at me. Don't look at me, I didn't put them in there. Where did you find this? In the cabinet by the front door. I could tell exactly what he was thinking, but I just shrugged. Sorry, it wasn't me. I don't know where your shoes were there, or was there, but I'm not the type, I'm not in the mood to hear you blamed me for it. I can't read. He just scuffed as he set the shoe down and shoved his foot in it. He snatched the keys off the floor. Yeah, right. Mom hurried back into the kitchen. Found them. Someone put them in the front cabinet. I know. Don't ask me. Maybe Dad did it. Whatever. Someone probably just wasn't paying attention. You two need to leave now. You still have to stop and check in at the office before class. She practically shoved us both through the door, and thus came the quiet, uncomfortable drive to school. Yay! Spencer was driving our shared car, and I was sitting quietly in the passenger seat because fighting over who got to drive just wasn't worth it. I hated riding with him though. Had no choice on that point. I was hoping after catching up with a couple of old friends, I might be able to start bumming a ride with one of them. In the meantime though, so looking forward to your first day? We might not get along, but I hate awkward silences almost as much as fighting. It should not have been this painful to ride in a car with my brother for 10 minutes. Ah yes, typical Spencer response. Curt, cryptic, utterly useless for conversation. I take that as a no. Depends how many classes I have with you. Great. Ugh, really? Can we not start the day like this? Then can you not talk to me? I bit my lip and stared out the window. It would have been nice if we could have, I don't know, supported each other or something like actual siblings. Just ignore him. We're ignoring him. No. I'm not trying again. He might be pissed off more. He was always like this. I should have been used to it by now. Trying to talk to him anymore never did any good. Over the years, I'd learned that the easiest way to avoid an argument with him was to just pretend he didn't exist. I stared out the window, watching the trees pass. I hated this. A few minutes later, we were pulling into the school parking lot. As soon as we found a space, Spencer jumped out and went straight inside. I grabbed my stuff and slammed the door, pausing to take a deep breath. I was not letting him ruin my day, or I'd try not to anyway. By the time I got inside, he was already walking out of the office with his schedule in hand. He didn't even look at me. I guess that was his way of letting me know I was on my own today. Not that I expected anything else. It didn't take long to get my own schedule printed. As I left the office, still looking it over, I heard a long, familiar squeal heading my way. I couldn't keep the grin off my face when I saw Allie Fisher, the one person I keep in touch with the last 5 years, barreling toward me. Oh, she's so cute. Chico, I just saw Spencer. Dang, he's pretty. No, he's not. Just don't say that. He's a punk. I didn't think he'd get so tall. Ew, that's the first thing you're going to say to me when we finally see each other again? Also, that's not tall. You tower over him with a good set of heels. Oh, come on, he's not my brother. I'm allowed to admire him. Go admire him all you want then. She grinned and grabbed me out, pulling me away from the office and down the hall. You're gross, and your crush on him is super weird. Nope, like I said, I'm allowed. Allie, trust me when I say this. You can do better. No, I don't think so. In fact, I'm thinking later today, I need to catch up with Spencer a little bit. At least say again, ew. She just laughed at my discomfort. I couldn't keep the smile off my face as we walked together. We keep in touch, but this was my first time actually seeing her in a long time. Sorry, I was gonna burp but then yawn. So, how's unpacking going? I was going to call this weekend, but I figured we'd be busy. We're nearly done. Mom's been a total slave driver. It's kind of scary. I remember how she is. I actually thought about coming over to help, but, well, then I remembered how she is. You're the worst friend. Nah, I'm a great friend, and I'm super glad you're back. This is going to be a great year. I'm glad to be back too. Although, before anything else, I do have to warn you about... I heard you were back in town. That voice. I shot Allie a look, and she gave me an apologetic smile in return. This was what she was going to warn me about. Kara, my other friend from Pine Hollow. Kara's real cute, though, to be honest. Hope you managed to stick around for the full year. Wouldn't want you to end up getting lost again as soon as you get back in town. Well, there goes the idea that people had forgotten about that. I don't think people will, especially if they're your classmates of some sort. Because, you know, they're gonna remember. Should we stay silent? We've been staying silent for the whole time. It's like my mechanism. Like, my instant reaction is just to stay quiet. But, she's sassy. Should I sass her back? I kind of want to sass her back. Oh, I don't intend to get lost anywhere. If you want to, though, I can definitely give you directions. From beside me, Allie snickered quietly, but said nothing. I really couldn't believe Kara was still bitter over that incident. I got that my last disappearance had disrupted her little concert, and that she and her mother had always had big aspirations regarding her musical career. But it's not like I'd ruined things on purpose, and I hadn't exactly asked everyone to ditch the concert and join the manhunt for me. I knew I had to have sucked, but I had apologized, and I was getting tired of apologizing for something I couldn't even fully remember. Anyway, they're pretty strict on attendance these days. The teacher aren't too keen on people who just take off for attention whenever they want, so you might want to be careful. No one is going to believe convenient amnesia either, not this time. She walked past with a glare aimed my way. I let out a long sigh. Well then, what a thing to come back to. My family had moved away before we had the chance to work things out, but maybe I should have tried to mend fences with her before we got back. To be fair, I hadn't expected her to still be mad, as that was just another thing to feel guilty for. At the very least, I was sorry that her relationship with Allie soured because of me as well. They clearly weren't exactly buddies anymore either. Sorry about that. I was just getting around to warning you about her. She'd been cranky ever since she heard you were moving back. Allie pulled me down the hall in the opposite direction of Kara. Don't apologize. You don't have to apologize, Allie. Like, it's not in your control. I can't believe she's mad. Normal people don't get mad about things like that. Well, you know, she thinks I was trying to mess things up for her intentionally because I was jealous or whatever. That's ridiculous. Maybe, but she wasn't the only one. Half the town thought it was just some cry for attention, remember? Oh, whatever. Anyone who knew you at the time should have known better. That includes Kara. That's when Spencer started hating me too, so maybe they know something I don't. I gave her a tired smile. Come on, perk up. You can't look all grumpy on your first day. I know. So, what's your first class? Literature, Miss Roberts. Sing! I was relieved. Being around someone who actually wanted me there might make my morning suck a little less. You'll love her. Come on. She dragged me the rest of the way to class. I need, like, a drink break. Hold on. I can't even read the rules. Is that in English? Excuse me. Please see material on how to handle Corvin's something? No PDA. I'm really trying to read what it says. I immediately scanned for certain unfriendly faces, was relieved that neither Spencer nor Kara was anywhere to be seen. I did see some other familiar faces though. Oh, it's Danny and Elliot. They were sitting at the far side of the room, surrounded by a group of friends who seemed to be taking great pleasure in prodding Elliot awake every time he nodded off. He's definitely not a morning person. Elliot's purple hair and black clothes stuck out like a sore thumb among Danny and the rest of the clean-cut, sporty guys. I got the feeling Danny was the main reason he was in that group. Unlike Elliot, who looked out of place, Danny fit in perfectly. I couldn't help but wonder how those two had become friends. They were so different. Try talking to one of the boys or go introduce yourself to the teacher. I'm trying to fix the pillow when my back is hurting. I'm gonna go introduce myself to the teacher because I'm not quite sure who I want to go for first. I made a mental note to catch up with them both later. Before I could get much further into the class, Allie grabbed my arm and started dragging me toward where the teacher was waiting at the front of the room. Come on, I'll introduce you before class starts. I'm coming. Please don't rip off my arm. Allie introduced me to Miss Roberts, who gave me a quick rundown of what the class was studying at the moment. A Midsummer Night's Dream. I'd read it last year. Actually, so catching up wouldn't be that difficult. We have an empty seat at the front of the class and several at the back. You may take your pick. She shot me a friendly smile that made me feel quite at ease. I suspected that I'd like her. And welcome back to Stone Circle, Miss Melody. Thanks. I'm really glad to be back. Unfortunately, none of the seating options were near people I knew, which is a little disappointing. It looks like she has everyone paired up for group work. The seat up in the front was next to a sort of grumpy-looking, well-dressed blonde. He didn't look extremely friendly. I remember him! There were also 2 empty seats of paired desks at the back, and one open seat next to a gloomy boy with misty brown hair, which is William. He didn't even look up as Miss Roberts explained my choices. Them both. The only other seat was on the second to last row by the window. It was tempting, to be honest, but I should probably take a seat that at least gives me a reading partner. But both options just look like so much fun. To be honest, they do. William or Mr. Vampire Boy here, right? Werewolf Boy. I don't remember him much, so I'll sit at the front with him. Maybe. Let me save real quick. I'll sit up at the front. Because I figured one of William's spoilers. I'm really upset about it. So I don't know if I want to go straight to William just to get it over with or not. I didn't want to make a terrible impression on Miss Roberts, especially considering literature was one of my favorite subjects. I opted for the seat in the front and just hoped the blonde wasn't as cranky as he looked. I smiled a little nervously as I slid into the chair next to him. His eyes swept over me, lingering for just a few seconds on my face before he looked away. Dude, I would feel so fucking pressured. He didn't say anything or introduced himself. Friendly. Today we'll be continuing our reading of A Midsummer's Night's Dream with your partners. Mark, if you would be— oh, your name is Mark? If you would be so good as to share a book with me, Chico, today. I heard an almost inaudible sigh from the boy next to me. To his credit, he tried for a gracious smile. He got an A for effort, but it didn't quite reach his eyes. I sighed inwardly. Maybe I should have just taken the seat at the back. He was clearly rather put out at having to deal with me, but it was too late to pick up and move now. I just had to make the best of it. Mark pushed his playbook between us and turned his chair slightly toward mine. I hope you don't mind sharing with me for today. Technically, Mark, I should be saying that to you, so I'm sorry. He's sounding slightly less annoyed than he looked. I was hoping that was a good sign. I don't mind. Miss Roberts will likely have your reading material ready for you by tomorrow. It's not a problem. I studied this play last year, so I think I still remember a good bit of it. Besides that, it was my selection of Shakespearean works, and I'd read it multiple times. I see. I have some trouble retaining Shakespeare and pinning down the larger themes in his work, so perhaps you'd be willing to help me with that. Since we started this unit, my scores haven't been as good as they could be. Oh, no problem. I love Shakespeare, so I'm really familiar with his style and all. I don't mind helping. Maybe I was wrong about him being cranky. He seems nicer than I expected. Maybe he just gives off that look. I see, in that case, I'll be looking forward to your expert opinions as I read. Something about the way he said that made it sound more like sarcasm. I chose not to respond, at least for now. No reason to make a bad impression on the first day. I nervously tucked my hair behind my ear and leaned closer to look at the book. Even if he's being sarcastic, he's not going to find a better study partner than me. So, there. As I leaned toward him, I couldn't help but notice the expensive-looking watch on his left wrist. Not to mention his clothes, and actually, everything he wore sort of reeked of money. There was nothing wrong with that, but now that I was leaning so close to him, I realized money apparently reeked like really, really nice cologne. You know, the kind that the kind that made you want to bury your face in someone's neck and just melt into them? Yeah. Wow, it must smell nice. Those smells are nice. I tried to not let it distract me. You know where I can smell those smells? At the store. Because where they belong, because they're too damn expensive. Down, girl. You're not going to make a good impression on anyone if you start sniffing people on the first day. I had no idea how I was going to focus on reading when sitting next to him was apparently going to be a constant heavenly assault on my olfactory sense, because it was hard not to pay attention to the cologne, at least from this distance. Mark is definitely from a wealthy family. He wouldn't be the only one at the academy, and that was for sure, but most didn't wear their wealth so obviously. Then again, he probably didn't think he was being obvious about it or anything. I cleared my throat awkwardly. So, where did you leave off reading last time? I was just beginning Act 3. Then we'll just pick up there. Naturally. Come to think of it, I had to wonder why he was sitting alone if he had so much trouble with this subject, especially when there was another person in class with no partner. Maybe Mark's original partner moved or something. As I shifted to look at the far page of my text, my elbow brushed against Mark's arm. Oh, awkward. I had barely touched him, but he jumped slightly and jerked himself away, moving his arm awkwardly across his desk as if to completely get out of my airspace. Sorry? What is that about? Wait! Is he the one that doesn't like being touched by girls? Or am I thinking of something else? When I glanced up at him, his brows were knit together. I was practically boring a hole into the book. It's alright. His tone was terse, and he didn't look up when he spoke. I raised an eyebrow as I studied him. Sure, some people weren't keen on physical contact, but that had been a little dramatic. Alrighty then, moving on, I guess. Oh my god, I'm over time again! Why aren't you guys telling me? Anyway, this is where we're gonna stop for today's episode. So we've met Mark. We haven't actually met William, but William was the guy with the brown hair. I feel like I should just go straight for William's route just because I know like a little spoiler that doesn't happen in the route, which I really want to happen in the route. So we might just go straight for William just so I can get rid of the spoiler that I already know. Maybe, I don't know. That's probably what I'll do. So then everybody else's route is special. Like, surprise special to me. I'm really bummed. Ever since finding out the spoiler. Sorry. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
조금 어렵겠지만 언제라도 난 여기 서 있어 편하게 생각